Jai Hind viewers, it's my honor today to host Seema Seth on Achievers Articulate on the Global Strategic and Defense News. We shall be speaking to her on the success in the corporate world. Seema has got over 22 years of experience working in the corporate. She's an MBA. Welcome, Seema, to Achievers Articulate.
Thank you, Jesse. Pleasure to be here. Honored to be here, in fact.
Seema, my first question to you is, it is often said that being an army officer's child has its own challenges, and the success in the civil world doesn't come easily to an army officer's kid. So what are your views on this?
Okay, so as being an army or army kid, I obviously am biased towards the army. The life in the army, Jesse, it makes you very malleable. It teaches you skill which books and schools cannot. It teaches you to thrive in all situations. It teaches you to be resilient. It teaches you, most importantly, the ability to communicate with people from all backgrounds and across all hierarchies. Okay, it just makes your communication skills that much better. But the flip side to that, of course, as you said, there are multiple postings, you're changing schools, there is a lack of exposure. That's what I felt, to opportunities. There is limited knowledge about intricacies of a civil career, which would possibly be more when when we were in school. Maybe not as much because there is social media. However, I still feel that there is still a gap that is there. What does happen, however, during the long run, your life skills kick in, and that helps you stand out in the crowd. Okay, these are life skills that you garner as an army officer's child, and the exposure that you get. And now with social media, army officers' wives have broken the ceiling and are becoming entrepreneurs, influencers, artists, and are working remotely and doing some incredible work as we speak. We have army officers' children who have notched up their game and have achieved like major heights in their careers, and have gone and done things where probably very few have gone. So it is that courage which has helped them through. In fact, I remember, I'll cite a personal experience for this. My first corporate job, and it was a media buying house, and for the life, I had never ever seen a laptop. Okay, I mean, we had computers at that point of time, and computers was only in school, and that time also just for a limited period of time. I'd never seen a laptop, and I was supposed to make these presentations and work on the presentation, prepare a pitch to a client. And I still remember my boss telling me that, Seema, at the speed at which you're doing this, by the time you finish your, making this presentation, the competition would have come, pitched to the client, won the deal, closed the deal, and then gone off, and you would still be working on this presentation. So yeah, those are the kind of challenges that I had, and that's the time when I just said, okay, my God, I just had to kind of dig in my heels and say that I have to do this. And then, of course, I did a computer course and all that, but that's besides the point. The thing is, yes, that this happened, but there are ways of overcoming that, Jesse. And finally, like I said, it's your life skills which take you through.
Absolutely. Very well said. Seema, how tough has it been for you to succeed in the corporate world being a woman?
Yeah, okay, now that's a so that's a very good question, Jasinder. I mean, so the corporate is not a level playing field. I mean, we are most of us have that, and there are kind of biases that exist not only in terms of gender but other biases as well. There are personal biases. There are pay gaps. There is biases by people in power. There is sexual harassment, there is mental harassment. These are the kind of biases that one feels. And whereas corporates are now very forward-looking and are working very hard to address these issues. Okay, and these issues are addressed in terms of, let's say, to small things like having feeding rooms in offices. There are more let's say, women-friendly paternity and maternity leaves. It is now both. Okay, there are grievances cells for corporates have very stringent rules around sexual harassment. There are grievance cells, redressal cells for women, wherein they can, reach out and they can speak. Um, the, the main thing here is, Jasi, it is about raising your voice. Okay, it is about raising your voice. It is about knowing your rights as a woman. It is about being participated in the diversity and inclusivity that corporates are now talking about. Sitting on the back seat and sitting on the side bench and hoping that things change will really not help bring the change. You have to be an active participant in what you're looking at. You have to support women the way that you want to be supported in an organization. And women, and have each other's back. That is most important. So women here, when you're talking about, they do not need to be empowered, they need to be heard. And being heard is a very major part of it. So again, I'll just cite a small example. Of course, I've been very fortunate to have colleagues and bosses who have helped me to have, help me in my growth and help empower me. When I started work as a corporate career, the thing to be heard internally and as well as externally. So it's not only about your skills that you're talking about internally, but also you have to ensure that the client is also hearing you, right? It's not a bias that is internal. You realize as a woman, you just have to work that much harder to up your skills, to up your communication, to up your language, to up your power game, so to say, and make that play on your strengths. Okay, so my strength was my communication skills and my ability to reach out to people and talk to people. Okay, so I realized that if I did not use that, I would not be able to grow forward. So I played on my strengths of being a good communicator, of being talking to people. And like I said, the Forge also teaches you respect and trust. So reaching out, talking, I developed my business growth skills. And slowly and steadily, to organizations that I joined, I was able to generate revenue, because revenue is a big, key to your success. I was able to generate that growth in that organization within the 6 months that I joined. And that, Jassi, is a practice that I have followed. That come what may, any organization that I join, the first 6 months are the most crucial. You have to make a difference. And once you make that difference, you do set yourself apart and you do make that mark on yourself. So that is what it is for women. And I think women are great as problem solvers. They are very resilient. They are extremely, they're extremely strong. And once they decide that, okay, this is the focus that they need to do, they are able to manage their way around.
Totally. I, fully agree with you. Seema, what would you advise to the youngsters who want to make a career in the corporate world? I mean, some piece of advice which you'd like to tell them, which would help them in their journey in the corporate world?
Okay. So one is, of course, so I'll just break this up into two parts, Jesse. One, of course, I would like to, because one, I would like to address this as an army of survive, being an army of survive. There are two facets to it. While we are in the army and we are moving around with our husbands, and we give up our careers for because we want the family and we want to work-life balance. We have children. There are times that we often feel that we'll lose out, and then getting back into the corporate game is going to be really difficult. And at times, and of course, and that it sets you some 2 steps back. It is true. It does happen. Women go through a lot of no, I would not say self-pity, but it is a lack of confidence when you come out of that thing and you want to get back to the corporate. It's not the easiest thing to do. It is very, very tough. My advice to such women is that please do not let anything stop you. There are people you will meet people, you will encounter people, you will have different experiences, but believe in your own strength and go and follow your dreams. It might take you a little more time, but then you will get there where you want. I took a break of about how many years? Yeah, about nearly I was traveling with my husband, and it was nearly about 12 or 13 years, and I did not know nothing about how a corporate world worked, because he was posted in places that were back or beyond. I had no clue, and there was certainly nothing happening there. So, but it is possible. I am a living example of that, and there are many, many, much more women like me who have probably achieved more, done more, who are, who have broken this barrier and have moved that step forward. So, to all those army officers, army officers' wives who are there, posted in, let's say, a Lima, Kong, or a Tripura or Agartala, it is not the end of the world. It does. There is a place for everyone, and as this background, there are various opportunities that are open for us. There we have strengths that nobody else can match up with, and it is possible. So that's my advice to them. For the youngsters now, I feel that it is very important for you to be true to yourself, and to believe in the work that you're doing, because only when you do that is the time when you're actually you do self growth. The chase has not to be materialistic. It will follow. And of course, there is no harm in being, in looking for more money or being materialistic. But like I said, you have to be true to yourself. You have to ensure that you follow your dreams, you follow what you truly believe in. You have to ensure that you, in this set of environment, you also ensure that there's a lot of noise that's happening nowadays. Social media has kind of brought in a lot of noise. It's very important for you to ensure that you are heard. Okay, and for you to be heard, it's important for you to skill yourself to engage in activities that grow your mind. You grow yourself, you grow physically, mentally. Engage in activities that grow you. Engage in positive activities. Do not go to work with biases in your head. Biases, about how a corporate works, or how you would face a certain bias. Do not go ahead with that. Everybody out there is there to help you. You have a mix, so be it. But then, if you have set your mind to what you want to do, there is nothing to stop you.
Yes, I totally agree with you, Seema. One should be passionate about his work. Money and materialistic will absolutely flow after that. So
Absolutely.
Yes, I totally agree with you.
And I think we have a lot to learn from these youngsters, because nowadays I see so many of them who are working, and they do take out time for themselves. They give themselves, days of having mental challenges. They are more open to addressing all of this. They do travel a lot. So there's a lot that we also have to learn from them. But like I said, being positive, follow your dreams, be true to yourself, and rest everything will follow.
Absolutely. Seema, my last question to you is that tell us something about Udai Charitable Trust, a unique venture, I would say, in the entire world, where you're doing a lot. So I'll not, lengthen my question. So let our viewers know what great work are you doing through Udai Charitable Trust.
Okay, so Uday Charitable Trust is something that we hold very close to my heart. This was started. Uday was a youngster in Pratik's unit who was killed in action in the valley, and his mother Sudha, she started this trust in his name. I was doing some bit of work for the children, for the martyred soldiers, for children of martyred soldiers in my own capacity, being part of the fraternity. Being a part of this trust kind of just helped us, trust and accelerate this process. What we did was that we had a few number of children. We started off with just 6 or 7. And the aim was not to just get donations and then just kind of let them kind of figure out which school and all. The aim was to ensure that they went to a good school. They got good education. So Dakshay was where some of them we got them admissions there. And we were very sure that we wanted to look after them till they passed their 12th. So each and every child, it was not that it was just for a year or something. We were very sure that we would look after their education till 12th, and that is why we kept the numbers very small always. So any child that we took on, we ensured that we supported them till the 12th. Why only till class 12 is because it was very important for us to help the mothers to stand on their own feet too. And for them also to realize the responsibility that, they have towards the child, and for the child also to now grow up and, make a place for himself. We took on more children like that. And then it was not only about people who were there in the army, but we also took on kids who were not as fortunate. And I'm very happy to say that one of them is now a professor in a college. She is teaching in Solon. There's another girl who has written a book. There's one of the children who is now studying in university in Chandigarh. And there is another child who is now part of the space program in India. There is another kid who is now working in a startup that manufactures drones. So what we have done differently, Jassi, is that some of the people who have in fact even volunteered for this program, they have ensured that they have been with the children throughout. We've mentored them for their college, university. We've supported them in that way. And we continue to support to do that.
Well, that's amazingly noble, Seema. My salute and respect to you. It's really a fantastic initiative.
I think it's the least that we can do right now.
Thank you, Seema. It was really very, I would say enriching listening to you, your views about success in the corporate world and this wonderful initiative called the Udai Charitable Trust. And thank you so much for honoring me by coming on my show.
Thank you so much for having me, Oma. It's been an absolute pleasure and an honor for me too, Jassi. Thanks a lot.